Hussbus bus stop. Good morning. JP Hussey here of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors with this week's Hussbus bus stop. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing this video from my truck right now. Been burning the midnight oil, getting it in. A lot of people are refinancing, buying homes. We're doing a lot of crazy activities. We have the ConshyStuff kickoff food drive party coming up soon. We're starting to plan it. We do it every year to support the local community. That's going to be great, so look out for that. Other thing is, recently, I mentioned this before, we started the Hussbus Garage. www.hussbusgarage.com. You can buy all your favorite Hussbus gear. It's fun. It's a passion project I always wanted to do. We have some funny pictures up there. We have really cool gear, in my opinion. I hope you like it. And we're making sure 10% of the proceeds goes to NAMI to help out our friends that might be having some issues with their mental health. All right? So it's a good cause and we're having fun, so check it out. All right. Today, I want to speak quickly, vaguely, broadly on how mortgage rates pricing works, and then also how rate locks works, okay? Now, I'm not an expert on this. I know enough to make me dangerous, so I'm hoping I can put this in a simple format for you guys to arm yourselves as well when you're buying a house and to understand. It's really about understanding, right? Once you understand, it makes sense. And obviously rates are what people go and look for and shop. It's not always about rate. It's always about your financial situation. That's why we try to come from an advisory level. It's not always about rate because I can't really control rate. All right. I'm going to get into that and how it works. All right. But you want to know how it works, makes you understand, figure out your specific financial situation. That's what it's all about. That's why we will ask about your goals, your short-term goals, your long-term goals financially, about the house that you're in or the house you're going to buy, so that we can try and customize it for you. All right. I think that's the only way it makes sense, and that's what we try to do. But anyway, here's how it kind of works. All right. So when you're looking at rates, you have a rate. Okay. It might be 3%, might be 3.5%, might be 2.5%. All right. All depending on the term that you choose, okay? 30-year, 25-year, 20, 15-year, okay? 10-year, whatever. You can customize that. But the lower the term that you go, usually the lower the rate, okay? That's the first part, all right? Now, you have a rate, and let's go back. Let's say it's 3%, okay? Now, behind that rate, and what you usually don't see, this is the pricing behind the rate. There is a number behind that rate, okay? And again, putting it in simple formats, that number, that money number behind the rate, okay, is, it kind of works like a stock, all right? So, it's like any stock you buy. It constantly fluctuates, whether up or down, all right? And that's what happens to the money behind that's attached to that rate, okay? It's constantly moving. All right, that's why you might see I have to pay points for a specific rate, right? Because you have all these back-end investors, all right, that buy pools of loans at a certain rate, all right, and they're expensive, they're not as expensive, whatever it is, right? So the lower the rate, the less money investors are going to make in interest, so that costs more, all right, up front to get that rate, all right? So how it works with pricing, and remember, your rate and pricing is determined by your profile as well, right? Your credit score, your loan amount, the type of property, whether it's a condo, a duplex, right? We'll get you a list of things. I just shared it on our Hussey Team Facebook page, but there's like 30 things that go into the pricing for the rate. It's all risk-based, all right? Because remember what mortgages are. It's all about, hey, what's the likelihood that you're going to pay back the money that we are giving you? All right. So it is all risk-based. All right. So you have this big money behind each rate, which the consumer really doesn't see. all right? Now, again, more fluctuates. It's all based on mortgage-backed securities that are sold on that secondary market, right? So that moves depending on the markets, the stock markets. So as of yesterday, for example, one little thing came out. You know, there's employment numbers look good. Less people are on unemployment. The Fed is maybe talking about tapering back the money that they influx into mortgage-backed securities to keep rates low. So if they're going to take some of that money back or stop giving as much, rates are going to go up, or the pricing for certain rates are going to go up. So yesterday there was some news there, all right? And the markets maybe rebounded a bit, but mortgage rates did not. We lost what was called 70 basis points, all right, in mortgage-backed securities. So think of it like this. If you have a $300,000 loan, all right, 70 basis points equates to about $2,100 more expensive. So let's say your rate is 3% 2 days ago, and then everything got much worse yesterday. For that same rate, 3%, let's say, right, you would have to spend an extra $2,100 out of pocket to keep that rate. Or you go up to a higher rate and have less fees for that rate. So maybe you have to bump up to 3.125 or 3.25 to not have that cash out of pocket. All right, so then your payment's going up. So that's what happened. And it can go the other way. You can get better 70 basis points and then rates get better, or you get credits back for that 2,100. All right, so it can get really confusing, but I want to try and explain to you how that part works, okay? So it's always changing. That's why you want to get on it. You like the rate, don't go with it. In my opinion, it gets too crazy. It's like trying to time the stock market, okay? Like with a stock, it gets crazy. So if you like something and it fits your budget, that's what it's all about your budget, the payment, how much money I need out of pocket. If that fits, lock it in, move on with your life. Rates are so low anyway, all right? So that's a little bit about how pricing works. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about when you lock in that rate. So when you lock in a rate, it's only held for a certain amount of time. It isn't like a stock where you have that locked in forever, okay? And the longer you lock that rate, okay, because it's when you lock it, now it's set with these investors in the back, all right, where you got that locked. The longer the lock, all right, the more expensive it is. So really the best spot, the bread and butter spot usually is like a 30-day lock. You get the best pricing. It gives you enough time. Now this is all about turn times. So the reason I'm bringing up rate locks as well is, say we lock you in for 30 days. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that has to occur. You get that rate locked in, now you got to move. You got to be focused here. You got to get your documents in to your mortgage broker. Okay, got to get them in because they have to get it into the lender, and they have turn times. So it's a trickle-down effect. So you want to stay focused, you want to be on time, and you want to get everything in so that you keep that rate lock, because you can extend a rate lock, but what does that do? That costs someone money for breaking that lot or extending it, because they're all, these investors are betting and buying on locks, okay? They're betting on that, all right? So there could be some hedging from the lender. Again, it gets really complex, way over my head, not my full expertise, but I want to give you guys enough knowledge to arm yourself, all right? So number one, know how pricing works, okay? It's not even about negotiating. Just understand how it works, okay? And number two, if you have that rate locked, start getting everything in. Stay on your toes, because you don't want to blow that lock, because it's going to get more expensive. I hope you guys have a great day. If you need anything, please hit us up. Later. Hussbus Bus Stop.